I have a couple of trios.
Right.
Oh, maybe I have one trio. The Ragabop Trio. Is that the one you're speaking of?
Right. The one that's going to Spain?
Yes, we're going to Spain at the end of the month. It's the first live performance for this group, and that's myself and Steve Smith, same drummer from Summit, and a fascinating guitarist from South India. His name is Prasanna.
Mm-hmm.
He plays. He's trained in in India. There are two kind of big schools of classical music. One is North Indian, which is called Hindustani. The other is South Indian, which is called Carnatic music.
Mm-hmm.
And they differ in different ways. But one of the big ways is the South Indian has a kind of a big tradition of composition and longer compositions and longer forms. Prasanna was trained in this Carnatic and this South Indian classical music, but he's got a very avant contemporary ear and style of playing, which is kind of unusual for someone who's been trained in Indian classical music. He's very broad vision and an amazing player. So we've got this trio, no bass, it's just saxophone, and I play a lot of alto in that group, saxophone, guitar, and drums. We have a new album called the Ragabop Trio that's out on Abstract Logics, on the Abstract Logic label. And we're playing in Spain at the end of the month in Rioja, which will be kind of a nice kickoff gig for us. And then we have about a 20-city tour that starts on the 10th of November at the Iridium Jazz Club in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Do a couple of nights there and bounce around a little, play at the Smithsonian, which will be fun down in Washington, D.C. I think we're going to play, I believe, at Martyrs in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And we'll play down at Catalina's in L.A., and finish up at Yoshi's in Oakland, California, and then with a bunch of dates in between. There is a website. There's a ragaboptrio.com website where all those dates should be listed.
And the listeners can also go to georgebrooks.com, right?
Yes, the dates will be there. There's a lot of music to listen to, a lot of fun photographs and videos, and a lot of information, and of course they can buy the CDs and access iTunes and download things as well.
Right on. All right, George, I want to thank you so much for being with us here on the Jazz Intersection, George, and for the enlightenment on this, you can't, would you call it a new music, but when you're putting jazz and the rhythms of North India, that's been done before?
It has been done before. Shakti is probably the most known group, and really the one of the real powerful and strong groups to have done this type of work. That was actually more jazz and the music of South India.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
John's influence was from this Carnatic system, the South Indian. But those guys have done fantastic work, and I'm definitely not the first to do it. I think there was a group, I think in the 60s in England that was doing this kind of work as well. But I like to imagine that I'm doing it in a way that's kind of unique to me.
Mm-hmm. Very unique. And I would like to impress upon the listeners to go out and pick up George Brooks' Spirit and Spice with the group Summit. And George, again, I'd like to thank you so much for the interview.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Really nice to meet you, even if just a...